All right, y'all. I just wanted to come by real quick before I hopped in the shower, and I wanted to say something real quick. Um, the I'm gonna be working on the energy of judgment because honestly, um, judgment based upon someone else's journey is not productive to your own. So, first of all, um, I move how I want to move, okay? And I'm pretty much going with the flow of everything. And there are a lot of things that currently, right now, I am dealing with personal that I have every right to choose to not discuss or explain to anyone. But also, what a lot of people have to think about and what people tend to not consider during this process of what I'm doing is that I am moving a spiritual business. Hold on, real quick. Okay. So, currently, right now, I am moving an entire spiritual business, which can be challenging. It can be. It can be a challenge. I've had many delays, and then I also have things going on that I don't feel that I should have to. Well, it's okay for me to explain to the people that are supporting me and that are not attacking me if they ask me a question. Okay, if they want to know, then I'll let you know. Cause I've had clients, and I just want to shout out to y'all that have been amazing. If you have questions and just curious as to this or that, then I have no issue with you. Especially, oh, she couldn't find the oil. Okay, hold on a minute, y'all. Okay. So if you're someone that is supporting me or working with me right now, then yeah, I'm going to explain to you a lot because you're the client. And if I need extra support, which a lot of my clients have really been absolutely phenomenal, and I will trust these people the rest of my life because unfortunately there are some people that don't think in terms of the way that I think. For example, people that kind of support um, abusive and and I don't want to say patriarchal, abusive and misogynistic men. That is something that as a woman, I have never been in support of. I do not support that. And I do not respect women that hide behind men like that. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to, for some reason, social media has really done a lot to put a lot of people in the habit of pretty much crossing boundaries with me. And as I stated earlier, other people's judgment and feelings and thoughts is not going to always coincide with a person's journey. I was just looking at a video of myself last year that is up on that other channel that I've been going live from. And that video was uploaded right before we were displaced out of our home. But then things turned out right. And so there are some people in their plight of wanting to prove that they're right about something. They will be very self destructive. And so today, just to let the group know, we're going to be dealing with unwelcome judgment today. And it's a really good day to deal with that because today we're dealing with the energies of Saturn. And we do not work against Saturn, we work with Saturn. People don't really know how to work with Saturn. I do. So, I'm going to do some phenomenal things for the group today. Just let me go in here and take a shower and get me some iced coffee and eat a bowl of cereal. And I'm going to get the herbs gathered and just get stuff popping because you'd be surprised at how other people's judgment of the way you do things can really affect you. Okay. And people don't have the right to do that. So, for example, it seems like to me with the weird emails, people are trying to rush me out of Georgia or control when I leave. That's just bizarre to me. Why would you be worried about that? Nobody ever said that we were in a rush. I'm not running from the law. I'm not running from an abusive ex husband. Trust me, if somebody was to run up on me, they would catch a knuckle sandwich. Trust me. So I'm not worried about any of that. So my life is definitely not in danger. My life is definitely not in danger. And I don't owe anybody an explanation. And so we're going to be dealing with a lot of this false judgment today because that's false. Okay. So I want you guys to understand, of course, like I said, my clients and people that pay me, uh, if you guys have questions, then you can definitely ask those questions. But try to understand that, keep in mind that keep in mind that I am moving a spiritual business, which can be very, very difficult. And I realized that that's what it was. And so, um, yeah, like, and then you've got people that are trying to make fun of me and keep that same energy. They're trying to keep that same energy to where they're trying to, run this narrative of me being homeless, even though I have a business that supports me. I have clients that love me and support me, and I love them back. Um, they're trying to run this narrative, and they're gaslighting me as if they don't know that I am currently relocating and trying to make things difficult. And people got to understand that if you go along with that get along, if you go along with that get along, You gonna have to deal with the negative karma. I'm not gonna come on here and discuss any more of my plans. Because people are planning and plotting certain things around it, knowing they don't want me to leave Georgia. Listen, I can't help it. Um, I can't help it if men fall in love with me, or either they fall in obsession with me. The truth of the matter is that there are certain people that don't want me to leave Georgia, but it's not their choice. And you should never, nobody should ever support a man in trying to force himself on a woman. That's disgusting to me. I mean, I just, and all up in people's business. But anyway, that's irrelevant because I'm not even gonna get into that anymore. What I want to talk about is, I want to just let a lot of my clients know and rest assured to a lot of people, and I've had to sit down and I've had to talk to family about it, while at the same time protecting my family. Okay, when you're moving a spiritual business, it can be very difficult, especially when you're moving that business from Georgia. Today, I had walked up to the store to get some cigarettes today, and I went ahead and made sure that I picked up some rocks, just some rocks on the ground, okay, for real. And I'm gonna make sure that I have all the corners protected of this room because I normally do that with pyrite. I got a lot of rocks and pine cones that I picked up, very powerful gifts in nature that I'm gonna tell you something. It's been amazing. Okay. So I just want to make sure that they're put around this place because I think that the energy of religious and government control is so thick over here in the South. It's thick. And me and Trump gonna have it out. I don't know if I got to sing happy birthday, Mr. President to the to the president. But he better chill with all that misogyny, with all that patriarchy and stuff, because it ain't for everybody. And I feel that a lot of the men that voted for him for the wrong reasons, y'all finding out that he ain't your buddy. He's not. He all about that shmoney. He all about manifesting money. If you not about manifesting that money, I believe Trump is a warlock. I believe he is into the occult heavy. And a lot of y'all choir boys running around here, y'all just don't know, y'all didn't know Trump the way y'all thought y'all knew him. So I believe that he be doing rituals and stuff. And he's the president. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say about that. But that can be very difficult. It's not that the government is going to impede on me. They're not going to stop me. It's just the point that I have to make sure that certain things are together before we take that journey. And it has nothing to do with anybody on the internet. And I'm gonna tell you, my spirits are being very serious about that. They're being very serious about protecting all of my clients. They're being very serious about protecting my clients' family, like their kids and stuff. My spirits are very serious about protecting. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay. So, you know, that's just the way that it is. Okay. It can be a very dangerous thing. It can be a very dangerous thing, a woman traveling with her children. And, I have a really strong belief in my spirits, and God will get us through this. And it's just really sad that we live in a world where people are so tyrannical that I have a lot on my plate. I have a lot going on right now. And all I can do is just reassure my clients that when those people are doing the food and they're live, I'm not curious about what people are saying about me. I'm taking care of business. So I don't watch those people just because they put my name in the title. I don't. And today is Saturday, and I'm not going to waste the day. Okay. It's a lot of work to be done, and they can't interfere with our work. They can try, but the results are not good. Hey, check and see if those groceries are out there. They can try to interfere. No. Okay. But that's not good for them to do that. That's not good for them. Cause I stay on point when it comes to my rituals. Even the other day, like I think it was like last week when all that craziness was going on, I was literally outside doing smoke rituals literally the whole time. And I was protecting my people. And my people know that they're protected. They know when they need healing, they can contact me. They know that their children are protected. They know at the end of the day, it is what it is. So I've got our spiritual ward up, just by the way, for the group. And thank the gods, like the last time, it was like really stinking by the next day. Our water ward. This morning when I smelled it, it just smelled like greens. It just smelled like greens. So it's got like a really fresh smell to it. So so yeah, that's what's up. But you know, I'm not understand what the deal is with the war on women and children. What's that about? What's that about? Like, and we gonna have to deal with this up till Easter hard body because they doing all kind of rituals. Hey, Stefan, hello. Yeah, so I think people need to take that into consideration because I've had first of all, why are people emailing me upset saying trying to rush me out of Georgia? And I think that that's coming from certain people that think I want their man and they're just like in a psychosis. Like, honey, I don't want your man. I have one. Okay. We're not together at the moment, but I don't want your man. So I think that that's who's emailing me and being goofy. You don't have to rush me out of Georgia. Trust me. Hey, listen, there is no connection with your man. In fact, In fact, hun, I did a cord cutting jar for your man. You know, so yeah, no, and I don't know what that is about. But when the time that I'm supposed to be back in Kansas City, which will be right on time, I'm gonna be right on time on the time that I'm supposed to be there. Period. Nobody has the right to dictate that, and people need to take care of their home. I know what my we he's we're not. It's a reason why we're not together right now. Me and my dude, which is a totally separate dude. It's not no dude on YouTube. He's handling his business. I'm handling mine. Okay. And contrary to what people believe about me and him, I'm gonna get into some personal stuff, and I'm just gonna say this. When we were close by each other, he would help me and I would help him. But he's not the type of man that is gonna try to be in a relationship if he's handling some business that he needs to handle. So he's handling his business. And that's all people need to know about that. I think that people need to get out of the habit of questioning me, because if you're going to question me, you need to question my spirits. You need to question God. Don't question me, question God. I am literally, my head is with the Most High. He has his hands, she has her hands on my head, and nobody else needs to worry about that. And you're not God. I don't look at any man as God. I think that you can be a messenger of God. Do you see her? Let me see where she at. No, they can't. In fact, they can't do that. She's still on her way. She may be shopping another order too. Prosecutor of violation A against women and the definition of rape for the purpose of public funding of abortion. Oh shoot, Stefan, what you talking about? Rape for the purpose of public funding of abortion. Oh my God. Wow. Oh God. It's like I told y'all that I try not to get into all that government stuff publicly. Wow. I'm gonna have to look that up, what you're talking about. But so people need to get out of the habit of questioning me like that as if I'm some freaking idiot. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not. I'm dealing with a lot of different energies. In fact, I got to take my cauldron outside and do some work with my cauldron outside. So if people would stop trying to be controlling and diabolical, those are the narcs that's doing that. Okay. So just, because it just it's people, what I've noticed is that there's a lot of people that they want their dignity, but they don't want to give it to anybody else. So my spirits do have a plan for me. Am I going to come and show you my cards? No, they already showed me. That's personal. If think about it, if y'all were dealing with what I'm dealing, which is moving a spiritual business, no, people that haven't actually ran a spiritual business would not know. I did a reading early this morning, and I know for a fact that my spirits got all of us covered. Not just me, but everybody is covered. Based upon the messages that I got, I'm not going to come on here and say, look, y'all, it's going to be okay. No, those are things that I know, like, and I'm pretty satisfied with what messages I got. And people that wish bad on me, well, you know what? That's going to happen to you. That's going to be your cross to bear. That's what your mind tells you. But people want to act like, oh, I went somewhere and spent all that money. So this is the negative people's thing about it. She went somewhere, spent all that money, didn't spend it on moving back home. Well, how do y'all know I have direct plans of spending that money to go back home? I never discussed that with anybody. How do you know when? If you try to throw cards on me, you're going to get a bad answer. You're not going to know. You're not going to know. It's the cards, and you can't see me like that, which is why they do, for example, a narc live stalking me for several months straight. All in a sudden, he's gonna call the police on me, and they gonna find you. Like, what are you trying to find me for? Like, people really need to stop supporting that. Like, and what I mean by that is stop trying to make it seem like this person, he's not my husband. Like, y'all trying to give me a husband that ain't my husband. No woman should treat a man like he's her husband if he's not. I don't do that. So we need to really pull back on that a lot, because if you want to know when I am leaving, you're not going to know, because I know, and I know what my spirits have told me and what they instructed me to do. This morning I was up early making black salt, doing a black salt ritual. Yes, it's a thing. Black salt rituals are very powerful. In fact, when I do y'all road openers and stuff, oh, it's fucking amazing. And I got plenty of lemongrass. I don't have any abracamino, but there's a lot of different herbs you can use for road openers, door openers, all of that stuff. So I think that people need to, because judgmental people, that's actually a mental illness, being judgmental of others, because you're outside of God. And I think that's what a lot of people need to understand at this point, that I am being divinely guided, and so are you, especially my clients. Okay. But I do love my clients, and I do appreciate y'all so much. Those of you that have been just on point with your support, those of you that believe in me and what I do, and I know y'all believe in me. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing I can do is offer y'all reassurance. Like I said, they've been sending it's things that are outside of what we spoke about. Like, for example, that strange illness that all of a sudden hit the Midwest. Um, I actually got sick because my daughters both got sick. My granddaughter got sick. And of course, I did healing for my family, and they're no longer sick. So there was a lot that was going on, and it's like y'all just don't know what we dealing with here. And as long as you stick with me, you're gonna be fine. As long as you, and everybody that is stuck with me has been fine. Cause I know everything that's going on out there, the fuckery. Trust me. And I feel like a lot of these people online are either victims or puppets from that. But again, I've been dealing with gang stalkers for a decade now, almost. So, I guess new people don't know that that's been going on for 9 years, 10 years. That's been going on for a long time. And it's about that time for it to stop. But in the meantime, we have to keep it moving because can't nobody stop me from going to where I want to go. Trust me, when I had walked away from that housing, I had uploaded proof that I had self terminated off of that program, right? What did the gang stalkers do? Made up a story about my daughter got my Section 8 taken. Well, that's actually not the truth. When I got into that house, they did everything they could to do with to try to mess me up. So why would you take the word of a person that's that petty? That's bad juju. That's bad luck. I wouldn't touch those people with a 10-foot phone call. I don't care how good they trying to be manipulative. I always trust God. You don't trust the words of a man, you trust God and his messengers. When I tell y'all, when y'all in a situation that's crazy, I always give y'all comfort and I always give y'all strength when y'all need it. And there's been times when I've needed, and those of you that have provided it, because sometimes I need y'all support. You know what I'm saying? But when every time I've told y'all the positive, everything's okay. Everything turns out okay for you. Everything. So why listen to the negative? Don't listen to people that want to tell you nothing but negativity. You should not do that. So, and I'm not going to do that either. First of all, nobody said what those funds were going to be for. No, nobody explained or anything like that. Nobody. So, the funds that I earned through my business, and I'm not talking about necessarily donations. God is forbid I put up a GoFundMe. I'm not going to do it. People's expectations for me are way too high for me to do that anyway. They like, now, Jamila, we know damn well you got enough power to get what you need. But it's not about that. It's really about people that actually owe me money right now. Like there's people that owe me money right now. So, I've informed those clients that are, in my opinion, refusing to pay. Did you want to see if it was out there? Hold on. No, it's not. It's not updated yet. Okay. So I currently have a few clients that owe me money, and then, and so those clients, I've let them know, like, hey, I have to open up my doors for people because this is what I do for a living. And I know a lot of people want to look at spiritual businesses as like a church, but it's not. It's I don't run a church. So, and we're not going to deviate away from that. If you in a bad situation, you know what? When I go outside and I burn my sage or my pine cones, I'm sending out positive frequencies to everybody. But as far as me doing work, healing work, and job spells and stuff like that, and road opener spell, those things have rituals and stuff. Those things you have to pay for those things. Okay. So, and it's a paid service. And if I don't get paid, and if people are purposely being sent to me to not pay me, you know what I mean? And I'm not talking about the clients. I have clients that have went above and beyond because they know what I'm dealing with, and they know that I'm protecting them and their children, because for some reason, I don't know what it is, especially if you have girl children. It's disgusting and disgraceful what they're up to. It is. But I want y'all to understand that I do have y'all protected. We have several layers of protection. Several. Okay. But anyway, so yeah, I'm currently moving a spiritual business, which can be very challenging. But I'm still very healthy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the Energizer Bunny. You know what I'm saying? Somebody called me lazy last week. I'm like, lazy? I done got I'm all skinny and stuff. Been walking, legs all built up and stuff from all that damn walking I've been doing. Get a lot of exercise, walking to my burn site. Ain't nobody lazy over here. I don't just sit around not doing nothing. Constantly working, constantly watching my clients, constantly thinking about y'all, constantly making sure that we getting the work done. So nobody's sitting there twiddling their thumbs. Okay. In fact, I made a really good powder yesterday too, that I can't wait to top some of these pine cones off with. So, anyway, I just wanted to come and talk about that real quick. It's almost like what some of these people have tried to become on the internet is a dysfunctional family that's trying to abuse one person. And y'all know how that is when you the black sheep. Well, I can't be the black sheep for these people because I have no relation or connection to any of them. So that's why, in my humble opinion, what they doing, what they talking about don't even really exist. And I've never walked down the aisle or went to the Justice of Peace and married nobody. I don't have no husband. I'm a free agent. I don't have anybody that runs my company. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have stuff like that going on. And if I have investors that come in, please believe that I'm doing the work for them. If somebody, and if there's like an investor that invests big in my company for spiritual work. So, it's a lot about what I do that people don't know about, because those are things that I don't have to explain. So I don't owe anybody an explanation. There's people that, for some reason, and I refuse to be pulled in a bunch of different directions too. That's one thing about me. I ain't like that. That day that we were standing outside, I was cool that day. I'm not gonna be getting pulled and yanked and yanked about and stuff, man. I ain't that type of woman. And y'all, when I was walking back from the store, I don't even want to tell that story. I'm not even gonna tell that story. But it was kind of funny though. Anyway, I'm not even gonna go there. Yeah, I'm not the type of person to be pulled and tossed about. I wasn't treated like that as a child either. My auntie, the one that just recently passed away of cancer, oh, her and her son, very particular about me. I was never tossed about, even though my mother was back then in 1977 when I was born. Being born out of wedlock was still a shame, like really a shame. So that's why my auntie raised me until I was 5. My family was not going to have me being shifted and all of, no. So I've been working with ancestors too, which we typically like, and I'm not going to show my altars. I have a total of 5 altars set up right now. 5. Okay. Those are things that right now not going to show. And so actually, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5, because that spiritual ward that I got over there is considered to be an altar too, because it's doing a lot, and ain't nothing getting past that ward. You can try to get past it, you're not gonna get past it. So you know, yeah, I'm glad that you feeling better, Stefan. I noticed that there's a lot of pollen over here in Georgia too. But don't worry, I'm definitely leaving Georgia. Like, I don't want people to think that that's not going to happen, because it is. And right now, there's people shaming me. Like, when you're on your way out of a place and you're traveling the way that I'm doing, you don't go and rent a house. I'm not going to get a house in Georgia. I did that temporarily just to rest up and gather my senses. You know what I mean? After what I was dealing with, like on New Year's Eve. I'm definitely not going to talk about that. Um, but other than that, I'm not going to get a place in Georgia. I'm not, like, so don't, people that want me to stay in Georgia, people that want me to leave Georgia, it is strongly advisable for you to not try to assert anything to try to manipulate what is happening right now. Do not. Please don't. I'm talking about people that and right now I'm kind of only, a lot of my clients that I'm dealing with right now that I talk to all the time, they want me to leave Georgia. So anybody that wants me to leave Georgia, I know that they are a true supporter. People that's like, people that's being weird, hey, chill out, fall back, like you making way too big of a deal over me, like this is preposterous, like just stop. You know what I'm saying? And stop the gossip. Like, I just think it's ridiculous when you don't have the right to try to, like, I don't know, worry about your own life, especially if I'm not asking you for no money. And like I said, if you've sent a client to me that has ghosted me completely the past couple of months, it's sad that they're not covered under my protection because they need to be, especially if they're dealing with the likes of you. Because from what I can see, the people that are after me have failed everybody. I ain't never failed nobody. I haven't failed my children. I haven't failed myself. And I definitely have not failed my clients or my significant other. For some reason, people get infuriated because of that. Too bad. Move on. It's ridiculous. Stalking is not something that you're entitled to do. You're not entitled to anybody. So today's the new moon. I'm gonna grab my cord cutting jar and get that litty with a tea light, because I just keep that put up, and I don't like that energy. Yeah. Oh God, Stefan, do not ever do it. I don't like Florida either. I don't like either state. So I pretty much the South. I love the people, but the things that is going on, I don't like or agree with, and the attitudes of some people, and like these groups of people. Would you hear somebody out there? Um, yeah, estimated about 100 I know, Stefan. I know. Yeah, but honestly, it, it's you can't trust somebody that's super duper obsessed with somebody anyway, and I just think it's weird. I just think it's weird. Yeah, I'm not interested in living in California either. I'm definitely a Midwestern gal. Yes, I am. I'll come over there to Texas though. Try some of y'all barbecue, Stefan. I'll come over there to Texas. Uh, no, I'm going to Missouri. So, yeah, it's been advisable. Please don't try to light no candles. Don't try to attack my family. I was absolutely shocked when people was like, I'm lighting a black candle on you. For what? Why you lighting a black candle on somebody that done cut ties from you? I might visit one day. I may visit Stefan. So, yeah, but keep that in mind to the clients. I'm moving a whole spiritual business. That's not always easy. Okay. And I think the people that are causing all that hoopla, they just really have nothing else better to talk about. And they're backbiting a lot. But I might, like I said, our energy is protected, you know. Anyway, let me get off of here. I just wanted to come and have that conversation with y'all. And I may have some interesting videos coming up, but I've got some sessions that I need to do. I've got some things that I got to straighten up, clear off this bed and stuff. And I'm getting ready to hop in the shower before I get some stuff done. So I got to go. Okay. All right, y'all. Blessings to y'all. Bye bye.